I would say that INFJs are more private than secretive. Privacy for an INFJ is something that is linked to their introversion, and it's something I think that belongs naturally to their personality. Whereas being secretive, in a sense, is often a defense mechanism, a coping mechanism, which you will see often in adaptive, submissive INFJs. You will in fact see that also in solipsistic INFJs. It's just that their way of manifesting secrecy is different. The adaptive, submissive INFJ is social. And so they manifest secrecy by choosing to divulge only certain bits of information and to keep others under wraps selectively, because their goal is what they consider to be adaptation. How, in their mind, if you like, the question is always, how am I going to get along with these people? How am I going to get accepted by these people? So they'll be quite secretive, usually of traits of their personality as they themselves perceive those traits that they're guilty of, or that they're guilty about, or that they're ashamed of. Right? That's also part of this lack of authenticity that can actually be noticed by other people, and in fact compound the sense of isolation of the adaptive, submissive INFJ. The secrecy of the solipsist is often that they make themselves secret. They make themselves unavailable, right? So they want to keep, for example, their location secret. They want to be reached. They don't want to have their contact numbers shared. Often they're very concerned about private information, about personal data. They're often more likely to use a variety of pseudonyms and not be comfortable sharing what their name is, if they're online, even in communities that they've been in for a while. They have a concern with secrecy in that sense. Again, I would distinguish it from privacy, because healthy, balanced, and overall spiritualized INFJs will still be private. And that just means that they don't have any kind of impulse to overshare or even to share a great deal. Every personality has coping mechanisms. Very healthy, very integrated personalities have coping mechanisms. You need to have coping mechanisms, otherwise external reality will swallow you up, or you'll end up developing some kind of psychosis. So you need coping mechanisms, but the coping mechanisms differ depending on what kind of INFJ you are. Privacy is a coping mechanism. Secrecy is like the, I would say, is the less healthy version of privacy. INFJs will never stop being introverts. INFJs will never stop being sensitive. INFJs will never stop being easily stimulated by the environment, so sensorily sensitive and emotionally sensitive. Keeping things private, is a mechanism that belongs in a wider arsenal of coping mechanisms that help regulate the relationship that the INFJ has with external reality. So that's very good. It's good for an INFJ to be private, reasonably private. It would be weird if an INFJ was very TMI oriented, too much information oriented, overshared. It might mean that they're going through some kind of mildly manic episode or something. It might indicate that they're not doing well and that maybe they're going through a crisis. If they are secretive, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily pathological. It will just mean that they're probably at a mode of interaction with external reality, a mode of existence that could eventually lead to a higher form of individuation and integration in the liberated, spiritualized mode. So hopefully that was helpful. Again, that was a question that was asked me. Originally, this video was inspired by a question asked me by someone via email. Now, if you want to hear more about INFJs and the external world and how they can find happiness, value, and purpose in the external world, in this world is often felt as hostile, the book to get is my new book, The Infinite Soul, INFJ Life in the Modern World. It's available at the link below. If you loved it but haven't reviewed it, please consider reviewing it. I need more reviews, okay? All right, guys. If you want to get the previous book, The Ecstatic Soul, is also available. It's the prequel, and it looks more at the contents of INFJ consciousness, the INFJ mind, deepest investigation you'll find. It's available at the link below. Get the 2 books together if you haven't got them. And don't forget, the lifeblood of my channel is my Patreon page. $3.50 a month and more. The link is below. It basically helps me keep the channel going, so I would really appreciate your support. I'm going to start pretty soon doing like in-depth video discussions of topics I discuss in my more kind of accessible videos and my books. So if you want to go deeper, this is going to happen quite soon. So stay tuned. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye-bye.